Hey guys, JH, welcome to Practice Tee. Okay guys, now we're really getting down to the real atomic particles of the Davinci Code swing. Now of course the main emphasis and prerequisite is that we want to keep the trail elbow and upper arm, the humerus, behind the shirt seam line, the center of that seam line, or as a better feeling and something probably easier to get as a mental fix, is to just feel like your elbow's behind your pocket. If you've got a pocket in your shorts or your pants, that elbow is actually always behind the pocket. Now the whole emphasis of the golf swing is that we maintain the feeling and the positioning of that trail elbow and that humerus. Now that does a couple of very important things, and one of the very important things is that if you're here and you've got this emphasis here, you're always going to have a shut shoulder line and hopefully a little bit of a shut hip line when you hit the ball, which will always promote an in to out attack path. And if this is stabilized and it's not traveling too much, it will always basically bring about an automatic release factor, because this is here, it's not going forward. As we fire this wrist hinge here, it will automatically fire away from that stationary or stabilized elbow and upper arm. It'll just do that. If I move this here, there's nothing for it to fire away from. You have to have something to fire away from. Now guys, the other really important thing, and something that I've just only been trying to incorporate in the swing, I've known it's been there forever, but how to get it in the swing has always been tough. But now I've got it, and yesterday afternoon was the best I've ever hit the golf ball in my life, ever, from a consistency point of view, for about 25 minutes. It was just Xerox copied golf swing feeling and ball flight. Now guys, when we're here and when we've got the training device on, we've always got this feel about us, and we get to here and we're running out of right arm, and we're running out of how to get the club to the ball. So all we do is we fire the delivery mechanism, which is that hinge there and those fingers and that hand. We fire them. But guys, what I'm going to add to that now, that is an absolute non-negotiable. You have to do that. Otherwise you won't get the club back to the ball. So to enhance that and to make the system much more mechanically sound and develop much more power and give you more timing and more time to hit the golf ball, we incorporate this feeling. And guys, this is the atomic particle of Davinci. When we're here, we want to feel that we're not only firing it there, guys, we're firing it there. It's what I call the third ball. If you had a ball here and then a ball here, the mental emphasis now is on hitting the third ball, way back here, as a feeling. This is how early I want to release the golf club, guys, as a feeling. I want to get it back here and I want to fire it there, as a feeling. I won't do that, but if I can fire it here, while this is still in this formation here, then I'm going to get the type of hit that I want. And guys, that's what I had yesterday. So the feeling is simply this, guys. Once we've gone here and we've got our stabilization and our connection, we feel like we're firing the club this way, like it's here. Like this is all going this way and the club's going that way. There, we're firing it there. Now you can't fire it there because of the radius lock in the golf swing. It'll fire this way, but it will feel like it's firing there. and it will feel so early, but at the same time it'll feel incredibly late when you hit the golf ball. It's a dichotomy of feeling. You will feel early, but you'll feel late at the same time. It's absolutely extraordinary. And it's almost an automatic timing mechanism. I guess because it gives us a lot of an extra phasing here, an extra length on the phasing here. When we get in here, this is pretty tight and reduced in terms of the amount of time phase we have in the golf swing. But when it's out there, guys, it's really, when I was hitting the driver yesterday, guys, I felt honestly like I was hitting behind myself, way over there. And I was waiting. I felt like I waited so long for it. It was here. It was this type of feel. It's what it felt like. It feels like that. That's what I feel like. Now see what happens with the body when I do that? When I get that as a feeling, look. This posts up, or it spring loads. The hips go here. And it gets me in this shut to stay back position. Now what do we call this action? I call it a back slap, because the slap is back there. Now I'm slapping it back here. That's what it is, the back slap. So this video will be called Davinci Code with the back slap. And that's what it's about, guys. It's about being able to stay here, stay closed and fire it this way. Fantastic feeling. Yesterday afternoon was the greatest feeling I've ever had in my life hitting golf balls. And we were here very late. It was like, it's daylight saving here in Australia. It was about 7:30 and there was no one here and everybody had been gone for an hour. And we just went down here in front of the putting green and we were just hitting shots, me and my buddy, and honestly it was a bit like the Twilight Zone. I mean, it was really in a sort of a sphere of amazement in terms of the ball striking and the feel of the golf swing that I've never had before. But I felt so much of this. There was just so much of that going on. Okay, I haven't hit any shots today, so we'll just try and hit one out here. And of course, guys, we've got to incorporate all the other stuff that we have with the belt, with the teaching belt. We have to incorporate all that stuff. And that is, the feeling is, we're connected here, we're firing, but this here, once it's gone to here, it then basically manifests itself into the same feeling as this on this side. We've got this here, we want to get this over here. So it's that's the feeling. And guys, on the channel, for any of the guys looking on the channel, on the One Atomic Golf channel, one of the guys sent in a video today of a guy explaining softball pitch, and it's essentially, there's a lot of what I was going to put on video today in that video, and I was stunned to see it. And what he's saying is that they want to release, when they're firing it down here, they want to fire it there. They want to fire it there. Well, I want to fire it there. But if you have a look at that video that's on the channel, and it's just a couple of posts down by one of the guys, and his tag is no nothing but Christ crucified. So if you look at his tag there, you'll see that that video. It's Joe. He comes up with some good stuff. But he found this, and it's amazing. And I said to him, you'll be stunned to see what I'm doing today, because I'd already planned it. But there's a lot of that in there, and that pitch. But mine is more that way. I mean, my thought is a metre further that way. So guys, just to go over it again, once we've got our lift and set, and of course we know that once we get to here, we just fire the hinge. I keep reinforcing this because you've got to reinforce. But of all the guys I've seen over the years, in the thousands of lessons that I've given over the years, and people I just saw at my training facility and golf range, most people are just totally mentally impregnated with the thought that this is how the golf swing works. That's how you've got to feel it. And it's even taught like that. People will teach you to want you to do that. That's the worst thing you can do, guys, because you'll never release the golf club. Jack Nicklaus and Tom Watson both said from the top of the swing they feel that. They feel that from the top of the golf swing. That's what they felt. It was interesting that Harry Vardon said that he felt that in his golf swing. He felt in his golf swing that he was doing this. Harry said, no, that's what I do on my golf swing. I get it going really early. Harry, like Jack and everybody else that's a good ball striker, on film was here. By doing that, you get this. Providing you don't do that with this. If you've got reasonable formation and good mechanics, if you're doing that, this is all gone anyway. And the standard line from Jack was, you can never release the club too early. And John Jacobs, a great British teacher, said that you cannot release the golf club too early. And John Jacobs used to say that, do that. Try that, guys. Try that with this. Try that. And that's very much what we want to do in the Davinci Code. We want to get it in here and we want to fire this. We don't want to be firing this when we're here. We want to fire it here, because it'll straight line it. Doesn't matter what happens after the golf ball. Doesn't matter. No one will ever convince me that there's more power available to be accumulated with a hinging action than with a cocking action. No one will ever convince me of that, because that is the range of motion there. Even for me, I can get it to 90 or 100 degrees, and at least 90 over here, and with something in there it'll be 100 degrees. But with the wrist cock, I'm lucky to get 20 degrees. So guys, that's it. I digress. Okay, it's a little bit cloudy here. I'll just check the camera and I'll come back and we'll just hit some balls with this new action. But I wanted to explain where I'm trying to go. I want to go as far that way, with as much early release that way, with this contained here. Okay guys, we'll just chop it here and we'll come back and hit some shots.